Oman has been described by some as the anti-Dubai, with its low whitewashed buildings, strong local culture, and undisturbed natural beauty. Oman stands in stark contrast to its glamorous neighbor. Here, you will hardly find a skyscraper, as most buildings don't exceed the 7-story limit. Houses and other structures are generously spaced, and the atmosphere is peaceful. This, again, is quite different from Dubai, which has commercialized every little corner. And when they ran out of space, they casually turned to the sea to solve their problem. Oman has long resisted the tendency to turn into another Dubai. However, it's finding it hard to do so with its increasing population. Oman currently hosts 4.6 million. By 2040, this number will nearly double to 8 million residents. As a result, the country is undergoing several projects to accommodate its next generation. One of them is Sultan Haitham City, a location north of Oman's capital, Muscat. The city is expected to cost $2.6 billion and is dubbed as a model for future cities in the Omani Sultanate. It will provide space for 100,000 people and is roughly the size of Beverly Hills in California. Sultan Haitham City will serve as an extension to Muscat and provide a much-needed relief to its busy capital. As capitals around the world grapple with rising population and limited space, a new trend has set in. For example, Egypt is building a $58 billion city that will reduce the pressure on Cairo. In the same way, Indonesia is building a new capital city in Nusantara. So yeah, Oman's new city does make sense. The only issue is how will the country strike a delicate balance between progress and preserving its local environment? And more importantly, how will it resist the ever-growing influence of Dubai? The Oman of today is a far cry from what it was 50 years ago. When Oman's ruler Sultan Qaboos bin Said overtook the country in the 1970s, he inherited a place with 6 miles of paved road, 3 schools, and 1 hospital. The country's previous leader was very suspicious of the outside world. As a result, he banned basic things like electricity, radios, eyeglasses, umbrellas, and even traveling abroad. However, the country's new leader saw things in a different light. He transformed Oman from a medieval state to a welcoming destination in the Middle East. The Oman of today has first-rate infrastructure, despite having a strong cultural footprint. Of course, much of this transformation was made possible by oil money. To this day, oil and natural gas account for more than half of the nation's GDP. In 2021, it was reported that Oman would run out of oil in less than 2 decades, and this was a huge problem. Like most of its neighbors, Oman has to look for ways to diversify its income. By 2030, the country aims to produce 30% of its electricity from green sources. Hence, any new project has to align with Oman's green goals. The Sultan Haitham City is no exception. According to designers, this will be a smart city by all means. Solar energy would be harnessed as a renewable power source, wastewater would be reused, and the construction material would be recycled. Now, the term smart city means different things to different people. Broadly speaking, a smart city uses technology like sensors and cameras to monitor the environment. Haitham City will integrate air quality monitors and other sensors for water management. Traffic would be managed with real-time data from cameras and speed sensors. The city is designed by Chicago-based firm SOM, the same name behind the One World Trade Center in New York and Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The designers had to give due regard to Oman's special climate and landscape. In Muscat, temperatures can easily exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit. To combat the heat, the design features shaded plazas and buildings made from brick and timber. The city will also have abundant open spaces and parks. Let's break down the layout of Sultan Haitham City. The city sits on a site that's 14.8 million square meters in size. Of this, 2.9 million square meters are dedicated to open spaces. 20,000 new homes of different scales and types will be spread across 19 neighborhoods. Each neighborhood will act as a single unit with all utilities available. The project is divided into 4 phases. Phase 1 will see the development of 6 neighborhoods and is likely to be complete by 2030. The last phase of Sultan Haitham City will not be complete until 2045, which is still 2 decades away. In the middle of the city, there's a 7.5-kilometer-long stretch of dry river. The design team at SOM will convert it to a vibrant green park. This is a smart move considering the hot climate of the region. The park acts as a unifying structure for all neighborhoods. It links 4 green pedestrian spines that further branch out to the rest of the city. This concept isn't just limited to Oman. You can see this in both new and old cities. For example, New York has a man-made Central Park that was built in 1858. Similarly, Egypt's new capital has a Green River Park that will span the whole city. Upon completion, this 10-kilometer park will be one of the largest in the world. Oman has a high home ownership rate. As of 2021, 91% of families in the Omani Sultanate own a home. This is quite impressive compared to America's rate of 65%. Omanis typically live in single-family houses like these. However, as the country's population grows, residents would have to live in higher-density settlements like Sultan Haitham City. With a growing local and expat population, Oman can experience a housing crisis soon. However, projects like the Sultan Haitham will likely avert the crisis. Sultan Haitham City falls under Oman's Ministry of Housing and hence is a governmental project. That's why there's an emphasis on affordability to meet everyone's needs. Now, even though the project isn't complete, you can already book a spot in advance. According to sub-listings, a 3-bedroom townhouse costs 95,000 Omani Rial, while a 4-bedroom villa starts at 160,000 Omani Rial. On the amenities side, there are a total of 39 schools, 11 health facilities, and a hospital. Furthermore, the city will feature 25 mosques, shopping malls, and gyms. Haitham City will have its very own cultural center, which borrows significantly from Muscat's environment. The design is organized as a pinwheel of 6 containers that spiral up and around a central lobby atrium. The roof features open-air spaces, including a playground, outdoor work, and classroom areas. The miniature model shows there's plenty of space for residents to gather and interact. Its construction is still ongoing and will be complete by 2026. As a whole, Sultan Haitham City stands as a testament to Oman's progress. You will notice how the designers have kept the local culture alive through the inclusion of bazaars, mosques, and the overall simplicity. Much like the rest of Oman, you will find no tall buildings or towers. The homes are neatly arranged in square grids, contributing to the overall aesthetic. The only question is, how long can Oman resist the temptation to become another Dubai, especially once the oil money runs out? News stories are filled with how other regions are being influenced by the long-standing Dubai model. Dubai's model of development is also being exported farther afield, to destinations like China, Africa, Turkey, and Brazil. On a lighter note, Dubai's transformation is mind-blowing. The place went from being a desert to now the 6th richest economy in the world. And while oil revenue was a major catalyst for this change, the country has laid enough emphasis on modern architecture, tourism, and its commercial sector. It's no surprise why the place has become a magnet for foreign interest, and this has become quite a problem for its neighbors like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and even Oman. Saudi Arabia, the rated de facto leader of the region, has a tough rivalry with the UAE. That's evident from the country's recent projects. We know that Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the tallest building in the world. However, Saudi Arabia is building the Jeddah Tower, a structure that will be 180 meters taller than Burj Khalifa. Like most Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia is diversifying its economy to reduce its dependence on oil. The nation is heavily investing in tourism and commerce to become the next big thing. In a nutshell, Saudi Arabia is spending trillions on projects like NEOM, Qiddiya, and the Red Sea. This will not only establish the country as a new rival to UAE, but also provide a backup for an oil-rich state. So both Saudi Arabia and UAE know what to do once their oil reserves run out. The question is, how will Oman grapple with this transition, especially since it's not as rich as its Gulf neighbors, and more recently, not as stable? In 2020, Oman's beloved leader, Sultan Qaboos bin Said, passed away. He's the same man we mentioned earlier, who completely changed the face of Oman. He ruled the country for 50 years and was greatly praised for his progressive policies. However, his death left a power vacuum, and for the first time in 5 decades, there was a feeling of acute uncertainty in the country. It was clear that no man could fill the shoes of the late Sultan. Oman's new ruler is Haitham bin Tariq. He's the cousin of the Sultan Qaboos, since the late Sultan didn't have any children, nor did he name any successor. Without a doubt, the new Sultan has to do a lot of things to legitimize his leadership. The Sultan Haitham City is one of those projects launched to symbolize his vision for Oman's future. Before we go further, If you liked the video so far, smash the subscribe button. We bring the hottest news in construction with 2 fun videos each week. Anyway, back to the topic. Apart from Haytham City, there are several projects underway in Oman. One of them is Bauscher Heights. This project serves the same purpose as the Sultan Haytham City to relieve the strain on Muscat. The aim is to combine luxury with traditional Omani architecture. The master plan includes luxury villas, apartments, townhouses, and a 5-star hotel. The project is divided into 2 zones, north and south. The northern area features luxury villas with panoramic views of the sea and mountains, while the south integrates organic farming and preserves natural wetlands. The next project is related to enhancing Oman's tourism. It's aptly located at Khor Grama, a stunning fishing village. The place is already known for its perfect shoreline and rich marine life. Taking advantage of its location, there are plans to convert this place into a marine tourism hub. Being the largest lagoon in Oman, the place will serve as a magnet for local and foreign tourists. There are plans to build a 4-star hotel and a floating pavilion in the area. Moreover, there's going to be a marina capable of accommodating 75 luxury yachts and 20 excursion boats. The project reminds us of Sindalah, a marine spot in Saudi Arabia. Much like Khor Grama, Sindalah will have a luxury marina for yachts and ample spaces for visitors. It's great to see Oman building projects of the same level as its neighbors. That's the only way it can keep pace in a rapidly changing world. However, it has to strike a balance between progress and protecting its identity.
When I visited Muscat a few years ago, one thing that was crystal clear by my Omani hosts was that they do not want Muscat to become another Dubai.
It's a big dilemma that Oman is facing. Hopefully, it finds a way to balance both tendencies. In the meantime, if you're interested in projects in the Middle East, this next video is just for you.